The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to The John Lebang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to a very special broadcast of The John Lebang Show. This hour marks our 6th anniversary on Alienxrado, our hometown affiliate in Detroit, Michigan. 322 episodes later, we're the longest running show on that station. And I want to give the owner, Keith Alien Stone, a big round of applause. Thank you for letting me be part of the Alienxrado family for all these years. Joining us for this momentous occasion is our longtime personality, Mr. Shady. That's me. Next to him is our fan favorite, Abu.
Hello, everybody.
And rounding out the group is Nerdi McGeek.
I'm the science guy.
John, why don't you ever have the camera on me? Not only for joining us this hour, but they're here to perform their latest song. And while they're setting up to do that, we're going to open up the phone lines to you. Calling us on our secret banger hotline, we're joined by the Donald.
John, Big D here. Just wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
6 years is huge, John. Big league, huge. That's longer than the quarantine's gonna last, John.
Boy, I hope so, Mr. President. How much longer do you think it's gonna last?
I don't know. I'm not running it. Hang on,
What?
I got a tweet about this.
Tweet.
Hey, everyone. Big D here. Tweeting on the radio. Hashtag social distancing is cool. Alright, I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thanks for your call. And now, without further ado, here's Shady Superfly Sexy Band performing their latest song, 6 Years of Alien Sex, the Quarantine Song.
It's a party. Yes.
6 years of alien sex.
It's a party.
Don't mind him, folks. He's crazy.
Yes. Oh, while we're in quarantine.
My name is Shady. I'm down with you ladies. Sometimes, though, I'm feeling constipated. John's on the microphone. Don't worry, cause we're all alone. Ain't paying us much to be here. I only got a bag of weed and a case of beer. And if we weren't quarantined, there'd be more chicks here.
While we're quarantined. I love it.
6.
It's a party. Yes.
That's the sexiest number there ever was.
I love it.
You know why it's so sexy? Because it sounds like sex.
It's a party. Yes.
Alien sex.
I love it all.
And if you're gonna have sex, you gotta be sexy. So says Shady. That didn't rhyme, Shady. Listen here, don't tell me how to rap. I don't like 'em fat.
That's what my uncle says.
Squishy or sad.
Oh, listen to my Uncle Shady.
I'm a rapper, like to go to the crapper. Slapper, dapper, bapper. I prefer alien sex.
That's what Uncle Shady says.
Whiskey and shots.
Yeah.
Quarantine, jelly rings, pinto beans. Make it fall in the hold. I produce in the bowl.
I think we're gonna need more TP.
Grab a wipe, take a swipe.
Uh-huh.
Listen here.
While we're quarantined.
Bob Dylan even wrote a new song. I don't know what happened, but I think something's wrong.
Oh my.
Open lines, anytime, she's fine. 6 years, seems like 66. It's a party.
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 I love
It's
it.
a party.
Quarantine.
Quarantine party. So I thought I'd crack a beer.
Woo. Got a crazy party.
Quarantine party.
It's a quarantine party.
That was Shady, Superfly, Sexy Band, and their latest song, 6 Years of Alien Sex, the quarantine song. Now we're going back out to the phones for our next caller. Here's Boris in Moscow, Michigan.
Hello, thank you for taking my call. Long time caller. It's a very good anniversary.
Oh, thank you. I can't believe it's been 6 years.
6. I always like 6. You know, you have lots of sex here, sex over there, in the bedroom, in the kitchen. You have sex everywhere. Even sex outside is good.
No, it's the number 6.
Beautiful number. I love 6. Ever since I was a little boy, I love 6. But lately, my wife don't like to have sex. I don't know why. I told her 6 good. She says, no, 6 no good. I says, why 6 no good? She says, too long.
Normally, that's a good thing.
That's what I said. Good show. Goodbye.
Okay, sir, thanks for your call. Ditzy, you're up next.
Hi, John. I just want to say, John, that after all these years, John, I'm still happy to be part of the team, John. And I'm always ready to do my part.
Oh, hello, Ditzy.
Are you flirting with me, John?
No, that was Abu.
Hi, Abu. Long time. Sorry I've been home in a while. But you know, when you're on a job.
I know what kind of job she's on. What kind of job? Oh, she's doing like the wind and blowing.
Whatever, Geritol brain. Anyways, I've got to go. I've got a big meeting with you-know-who.
Thanks, Ditzy, for your call.
You know, John, this ain't a very good party. You ain't got nothing to eat. Oh, look, I have these horse divers. No, I don't like to go diving with horses.
No, he means hors d'oeuvres.
Well, I know we have some old deers, but not old deers. I mean those little things you eat.
Listen here, man. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, no problem.
I ate some of the beans earlier. You know, being in quarantine, man, you got to eat lots of beans. I don't know if you know that, but you got to eat lots of beans. And if you like beans, you probably like rice, you know, man. So, you know, you get them beans and rice, man. You make them all kinds of styles, man. You know, good stuff. You know, like that back stuff, that well, you know, that kind of stuff that I had when I was a child, you know, way down there in Memphis, Tennessee.
So you're from Memphis, Tennessee, huh?
That's right, man. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, man. Well, first I was born in, well, this place, I can't tell you where I was born, man, but that's where my birth certificate is, so that's where it says I'm born.
Are you illegal?
Now listen here. Just want to tell
Sir.
you, but
Sir?
no, man, hang on a minute.
Sir.
I've been listening to your show, I don't know, a couple of years anyways. It's been okay. I saw that video of you the other day. You would have wearing what those things called? The sunglasses. You would wear it in the hat there. Looking like, trying to look like a cowboy or something. I don't know. Maybe you just want to be like the Texas Walker Ranger or something. I don't know. That to each his own is what I'm saying. But I was just, you know, I was watching your video and everything, and I was like, whoa, man, that's a pretty crazy stuff. How you know, why the hell are you doing this kind of crazy video?
Yeah. Which video are you talking about?
Well, man, the video, man. That one video you did the other day, man.
Yeah, but which one?
I don't know what you call it, man. It's a video. Man, it had the thing and the other thing.
That really doesn't narrow it down.
Oh, man. Just the whatever, man. I gotta go. I'm gonna go eat some beans and rice, man, or something. I don't know, maybe some cornbread. You know, cornbread is always good with beans and rice. I didn't know you knew that.
Cornbread
really
is good.
You know, make you fill your belly. And, you know, when I'm fat like this, you know, I like to fill my belly because I don't want to get no skinnies, you know. I mean, in America, you got the right to be fat. And if you want to be fat, then just be fat. And I'm telling you what, I ain't getting fat. I'm going to eat that beans and rice. And then, well, maybe I will get fat because that cornbread's kind of fat. But, you know, whatever. I got to get out and out of here, man. I've been talking too long for you.
Yeah.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, sir, thanks for your call. Our next call comes in from Dearborn. Mohammed, you're up next.
Hello. Just want to say, we have good pizza deal tonight. Buy 2 pizza, get none free. So if you need the catering for your party.
Do you have tacos?
No. We don't have the garbage. We have good food. I sent over 2 pizzas right now.
Pizza's good. How much?
Get 2 pizza, $22.99 each. Buy 2, get none free.
You know, do you have delivery? Because I don't want to catch a virus.
Oh, we got delivery. Yes. We got delivery. No touch delivery. We drive up. We get out of car. We sanitize very, very good. We spray all over like that. Then we throw it at the door. And then we hurry up, get in car, wash our hands, and then drive away.
Yeah, but I only have cash.
No, we don't take cash.
But I want to pay with cash.
No. We take your credit card. That way, if it's declined,
then we know you don't get your pizza, and then we put the lien on your house or something.
Will you take cash if I don't have a credit card?
No, I don't give you pizza if you don't have credit card.
What about the tip?
That's okay. If he gets virus, I don't care. That's easy to find another driver. How many pizza you want?
I don't think I want any.
What you mean none?
Well, it just sounds a little expensive for pizza. Do you have any better deals?
If you buy 2 pizza, you can have 1 roll of TP for free.
A roll of teepee? No, not good enough.
How about 2? But that's it. I go no higher.
Yeah, I don't think so, but thanks for your call. Now, who could be knocking on the door?
Oh, I'll go get it.
Shady, we're on the radio.
Well, it's about time you got here. Come on in.
Who's that?
I don't know. Hey, John, where do we put the stripper?
You got a stripper?
Hell yeah, I got a stripper, John.
But this is an anniversary party.
You can't have a party without a stripper. Now, where do we put her?
Shady, we can't afford a stripper.
Don't worry about it. It's a cheap stripper. We made sure she's wearing a mask and everything.
Dude, we're supposed to be social distancing.
Well, you don't have to touch her.
Back out to the phones.
Just go over there and do your stripper
Bubba,
thing.
on line 2. What say you?
Hello. This one caller say happy anniversary. Tell you what, if you want to come down there and celebrate, I'm working down here with Lenny Strippers. I'm one of the dog guys. Come up to me and say, hey man, I'm talking to you on the radio, and I'll give you discounts. Come in and get yourself a stripper.
Oh, we already got one of them.
Well, hopefully it's not for freaker. Well, I tell you, that woman, she crazy.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you meet her?
No, I went over there to that Walmart over there on Telegraph Road. Well, she was standing over there by them donuts shop. She was stuffing her face with one of them jelly rolls. She had them like wide hips, you know, big wide hips, and beautiful breastises. I love them breastises, well, at least for a little while.
Oh, yeah? Please tell us about it.
Well, it's hard to make love when the baby dad's looking at you.
I don't think we want to talk about this.
Shut up, John. This is getting interesting. Please tell us more.
She had a big old tattoo on her boobie there, so I had to keep shutting the light off, otherwise she'd be looking at me. I just can't be comfortable with the baby daddy looking at me. Problem was, the only thing sweet about her was the jelly roll.
Okay, thanks for your call. Batman, you're up next.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Batman. What you doing?
Oh, out looking for crimes.
You're committing crimes?
No, I'm not committing crimes. I'm looking for crimes.
Anything interesting crime-wise being committed?
It's the damnedest thing. Never seen anything like it. There's no one on the streets right now. How could I stop evil perpetrators if they're not out perpetrating evil?
Well, that's probably because of the quarantine.
Quarantine. I didn't hear about that.
Really? Because it's been all over the news for months.
Is it an evil virus?
Well, it's killing a lot of people, Batman.
This virus is killing people.
That's what I said, Batman.
We're gonna find this virus.
I don't think you can find the virus.
What do you mean I can't fight a virus? You just said we're at war with the virus.
Well, that's what the president said.
Where is it?
It's all over the place.
I've been all over. I don't see anything.
Really, it's invisible.
If it's invisible, how do you know it's there?
Well, because people are dying all over.
I think it's a little presumptuous to blame it on the virus. What if they died of something simple, like a batarang?
Sure, they've been cooking the numbers, but I have never heard of anyone dying from a batarang.
Oh, I know people who have died from batarang.
Oh, yeah?
Trust me, I'm Batman.
All right, if you say so, Batman.
Well, I guess I better get on the case.
You do that.
Let's find that virus. By the way, happy anniversary.
Appreciated. Thanks for your call.
John, look at her.
What, I'm trying to do a show.
Look, she's taking off her top.
Is she going to take off her mask? You know, because I don't want a virus.
I told you she ain't gonna take off the mask, John. Just the top. Maybe the bottom.
Our next call comes in from Peppa in Chicago. What say you?
Hi, honeys. I just want to say I've been listening to you so long. You've heard all about all my baby daddies. Everyone, 1, 2, 3s, 4s. You've heard them all. Because I told you, honeys, because I love my baby daddies. And I'm telling everyone out there, I'm looking for my next baby daddies. So anyone want to call me, I'm up here in Chicago's, and you can just look me up on the phone. My name is Peppers, and I got all this beautiful lovings for you. Bye, honeys.
All right, thank you for your call.
If you'll excuse me, I need to go check the little boy's room.
Remember, geek, only 2 sheets.
But sometimes I need more than 2 sheets.
Don't you know there's a quarantine going on?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, then back off. Get some of that social distancing in there.
Oh, how far should I go?
Keep going. Back up. What, here? Yeah, a little more. No? Okay. How about here? Just a little more. Keep going. What, let me. Look what you did, dummy. You tripped.
Up next on the phones, we have Pedro.
Oh, man, I'm quarantined in Mexico, man. You wouldn't believe it, man. I walked over here with my shoes, man.
What are you chewing?
No, man, I'm on my shoes, man. Oh, man, I gotta go, man.
Oh, well, okay. Thanks for your call. Our next call from Seattle, we have Kurt.
Hello. I don't like your show.
Well, thanks for your call, Kurt. Tuned in on IRN Radio. Up next, we have Cora. What say you?
Your show sucked 6 years ago and it sucks now.
Aw, thanks, Cora. That's so nice of you to say. And our last call for this segment comes from Captain.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to say I've been listening to you all these years, and I have to say it's been a gay old time. I remember when you talked about all those sex robots. Let me tell you, honey, I've tried that. There's nothing like the feel of a good vibrator in your hand. Anyways, off to the gay prom. See you later. Bye.
And with that, it's time to take our first break.
Hey, Uncle Shady, where are they going? Hey, you, get back here. The John Lebang Show will be right back.
Are you in need of commercial or residential window cleaning? Do you need your office cleaned? Maybe custodial work? How about some gutter cleaning? If you do, then call Pane in the Glass. For a beautiful shine that's crystal clear, call Pane and the Glass. You can find them on Facebook at Pane and the Glass.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's better than an vibrator convention.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying tuned in. Hope you enjoyed that first segment. We had a lot of fun putting it together. If you want to hear archives of the show, well, you can tune in on our website anytime you want to hear back some of that stuff or any other things that are of interest to you. With 6 years under our belt here on Alienxrado, we've also got other anniversaries with other stations, like in the United Kingdom with WRFN and Vulcan Sound Radio. We're coming up on 5 years with them. So we have a lot of great anniversaries coming up. We have an anniversary 400 episode will be happening at some point this year. We're also going to have the 100th Banger Music Hour, which is going to be happening very shortly, within the next couple months, actually. So there's a lot of things going on with the show. We've also increased the number of people that are coming to the website through different means. We're using videos and taking a different approach to bring in people to check out what we're doing, and it's been working of late. And I want to thank the people that have been sharing, all the new subscribers, all the people who have stuck around from the very beginning, been part of this internet experience that we've enjoyed together. Now, with that being said, we've had a lot of changes throughout the years. Great deal of changes. But there are some things that have pretty much stayed the same through all of this. You know, we do the open lines and we have our character bits, which is something we've done ever since the beginning. But we've also expanded on the way we do it. We've pretty much locked down the format of the show in all those years. And of late, we've had some really nice comments from a lot of different people who have just enjoyed what we've put out for you to consume, to enjoy. A lot of it's been fact-based stuff, and like early on in the show, there's a very comedic and our entertainment background starts coming in. And that was why we started the show that way. We didn't want to, because it's been heavy. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. It's been extremely heavy when it comes to what we've been doing on the broadcast over the past few months with the whole coronavirus and the impeachment. And so much has been inundating the direction of the broadcast. We haven't had a whole lot of time to give to our more entertaining values that we have in the show. So I thought it would be a good way to, just loosen us up here at the very beginning. Later on, we'll get into a few things that have happened over the past few weeks or so, since we've last spoken with you. Again, I want to thank Keith from Alienxrado for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this station. You know, there's been a lot of things that have gone on with the station transition-wise. People have been in and out, and I'm really lucky to be like basically the pillar for the station at this point. So when we have an anniversary, as we do right now, this 6th year, going into a 7th year. I mean, we're past a half a decade. We're now, that's, I guess, the next significant milestone would be the 10-year mark, if we get to that. Because we've considered a lot of changes because of the formatting and what you guys are more accustomed to enjoying. You know, we try to make the show so you get more out of it, because we can do whatever we want, and we do a lot of times, just do whatever we want. But if you're not getting anything out of the show, then what point is there then doing the show? We want people to be return listeners and to come back and to give us good feedback, even bad feedback, when we screw up, when we do something wrong. So in this hour of not only moving towards the future, but we're also contemplating what has come before. Because Alienxrado gave us the opportunity to become a syndicated broadcast. We had a following on YouTube that we had carried on for a few years, and then we had some hard times due to things we've talked about here on the show before. So we decided, because of all the roadblocks that were put in front of us over there on that platform, we decided that it would be a good opportunity with the growing number of people listening to internet radio. We thought it'd be a great opportunity to expand the show into that market. And it's turned out to be a really excellent experience. It's made us more professional. It's also, I mean, when you're doing a show like this, unlike a YouTube video where you can just do it at any length you want, and it's pretty much okay. The shorter the better, actually, on YouTube. Here on internet radio, you really have to put a lot of work in to fill 1 hour of content. And with this show being, we have an hour of music and 2 hours of variety and content and talk, that's a heck of a lot of work. A lot more than doing a video every day of the week. Because you could do a video twice, or 2-3 minute video, 4 or 5 minute video, whatever, and put it out almost every night. But with this, that's why we're more spread out. That's why you have a schedule. And because we don't get any real compensation for doing this outside of, our sponsors, that if you haven't checked out any of our sponsors, we're asking you during these hard times to please do so. Remember that when all this quarantine stuff is over, we want you to go over there to Jim's Tuxedo in Southgate, Michigan. You see, we continue to run the commercials because we had made a promise that we were going to play those commercials right through the whole year, and we're going to do so. Just because there's a quarantine, we're not going to take them out, because we want to show our support for the people who support us. And when all this quarantine stuff is over, there are going to be people who are going to want to get married. There are going to be people that want new suits, all kinds of other things. You're going to want to go to Jim's Tuxedo and Menswear in Southgate, Michigan. We also have a great sponsor out there in Livonia, Michigan, called Absolute Skin and Body Care. If you got some tattoos you want removed, or maybe you have some skin conditions, maybe you want laser lipo, I've even thought about that, then you can go over there and get that done and tell them the banger sent you, and you'll get some discounts on the services that they provide. We also have another affiliate, Pane and the Glass Commercial and Residential Window Cleaning. Please help support them during this time of need, just like you're supporting all the other businesses out there. And I know there's a lot that are not essential, but I'm telling you, there are plenty that are technically not essential that are essential for those people to survive. So please, when all this is over, they're going to need your business, and we want you to help them by going over there. Boy, that was a long commercial, right, for all three of our sponsors. But that's a little bit of what's been behind our thoughts here while this whole quarantine thing is going on. And it's beyond a quarantine, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. I know that. It's a lockdown. It's this close from martial law. I've called it before. It's like a soft martial law. They're keeping us in our homes. They're keeping us from doing what, we want to do. And they're blaming it on a virus. And maybe the virus is real. Maybe it's not. We don't know. But they're telling us it's something. And it's not producing the numbers that they say. Now, they're going to take credit, ladies and gentlemen, for all this in the end. If the numbers are way lower, you're going to see everybody beating their chest. See, we kept the virus away. We kept the virus away. But as we'll learn as we go on tonight, what they did is use the virus to get things done they normally couldn't get done. And so, well, with that being said, you just have to wonder if they didn't, take advantage of the virus, if not actually find a way to unleash the virus on the world. But we'll save that for segment 3 and 4. We've got about 4.5 minutes or so left, so I want to thank all the people who have spent years listening to the show. I mean, if without the longtime listeners, the new listeners would not be hearing us because, we wouldn't be here. Because it's the listeners who we keep us doing our thing. And we hope that throughout the years you've learned something, you've grown as a person, especially with this whole coronavirus thing. I think my listeners were better prepared. The people who tuned in all the time were better prepared to handle this than maybe some other listeners. The people who listen to Rush Limbaugh, he wasn't preparing his listeners, and I know he's been out a lot, and he's had guest hosts there. But there's also been other people who weren't really preparing their listeners, and they were actually doing the talking points from whatever point of view those talking points were. So again, my listeners, I can't thank you enough because you're the reason I'm still here doing this. And the support you have given me throughout the years, and you know who you are, the people who have really supported, and even the new people. There have been a few new people that have come out of nowhere to show some great support. And I appreciate all that because there are many times where I don't get any glimmer of appreciation, or you feel that way because 90% of the things that come into the show are hate. You say something and you just rub somebody the wrong way and the hate starts coming out. There's nothing you can really do about it. But when the good stuff comes in, when the nice words, the kind letters and emails come in, that's when you really take the time to reflect how great it is to have people who appreciate you. Because in this world, not everybody is going to appreciate you. So, I'm rambling on now, I guess. Hope you enjoyed that first segment. Over the coming weeks, we'll want you to go to the website, www.jlebang.com. We've got a lot going on there. We're going to have an upcoming interview with a band called Kill the Silence, which will be coming in the next few weeks, so please keep tuned to that. If you haven't ever listened to the Banger Music Hour, why haven't you? If you're a lover of music, and especially forms of rock music and metal, because we do dabble in a little bit of it each, that wide range. If it's guitar-based kind of music, even stuff that not quite as guitar-based, one of the more recent songs is kind of like dark country, but it's so good we played it. But if you're a lover of that music, or if you were ever a fan of new music when you were younger, then you should be tuning into that Banger Music Hour, because it's some great stuff. And if you haven't heard, or if tonight's the first time you heard any of our personalities, and you're like, these guys are funny, or it's very entertaining, then we have a collection of complete stories with all of these personalities in it, including guest appearances from actors and comedians and just people from all over the spectrum of our network. They've all participated in these things. And if you enjoy that early stuff, you're really going to like the stuff that we produce on that end of the things. And that's in our Bangerverse category of entertainment. With that being said, folks, I know I rambled on here at the very end of this segment. We're going to get into all the stuff after with this next break. If you came here to hear the news, to hear what's going on, get my opinion, well, you're only one break away from getting unloaded upon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't move a muscle.
The John Lebang Show will be right back.
With lots of fun and excitement. Yes!
Jim's Tuxedo and Menswear is your one-stop shop for tuxedos and men's quality suits. We go the extra mile to make sure your tux or suit is the perfect fit. Our huge selection is second to none in the state.
Looking good.
Outstanding customer service.
And we're located on Dix Toledo in Southgate. Call today, 734-285-3253.
Jim's Tuxedo and Menswear is the place to be.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to Jim's Tuxedos and Menswear.
You know I had to come to the best.
That's right.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready because, man, there's a few things that have really gotten under my skin this week. But we had to get some fun out of the way. We had to enjoy ourselves a little bit. So, folks, many of you have gotten that old stimulus check, or you're going to get it. I mean, it's been promised to us, although it's taken a lot longer to get that money to us than other things. Of course, it's always like that. Well, the Banger did some research, as he always does, and I've been distracted. Let's be honest, I've been distracted with COVID-19 and the presidential seal and the Event 201. This has been a little bit put on the side burner here. Well, I pulled it on and I start cooking with it, folks. I had to look at it. And that's the stimulus package. You know that $1,200 you're going to get? I just want to tell you what that is. See, according to subtitle B in the stimulus, section 64.28.2020, the stimulus check you're getting that Donald Trump wants to have his name on, even though you're not going to get the check, it should be directly deposited into your bank account. But okay, let's just go with that. That stimulus check, well, that's not free money, ladies and gentlemen. If you thought that was money that the government was benevolently giving to you, well, I'm sorry to bust your bubble today because, well, after further review and reading the entire bill, which was a long one, folks. Another long one. They can never pass a bill that you can read in 5 minutes. Because if you could pass a bill that could be done in 5 minutes, we'd actually see what was in the bill. But they fill it with tons and tons and tons and tons of garbage. And it wasn't 2.2 trillion. It was 6.2 trillion. As the president states right here.
It's 2.2 billion, but it actually goes up to 6.2 potentially trillion dollars. So you're talking about a 6.2 trillion dollar.
You see, the malpractice media told you it was 2.2 trillion. Remember that? They told you 2.2 trillion. Well, they weren't listening, or they were just lying to you. It's up to you to decide. But the malpractice media told you it was $2.2 trillion, and right from the Donald's mouth, nobody stopped him, nobody corrected him. No, Donald, it's not 6.2. It's 2.2. No, he made it clear by saying it a second time. 6.2 trillion. Well, if we divide that by every taxpayer, and I'm talking individual taxpayer in the nation, that amounts to roughly in the ballpark of $33,000 a person of more. This is more debt the government has taken on. And you think, well, you're going to get $1,200 of that 6.2 trillion. But you're not. No. You're getting $1,200 or any of the subsequent add-ons if there's two people and some kids or whatever. But that money you're receiving from the federal government is just a loan on your 2020 tax return. So when you file your tax next year, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to owe that money before anything else is given back to you. Hopefully you've paid at least $1,200 in taxes, but people who count on that money every year at tax time, they count on that money to pay bills, whatever. You ain't going to have it. Because if you're expecting that this $1,200 is just a freebie, it's not. As I said, Subtitle B in the CARE Act, Section 64.28.2020 states that it is a rebate on your 2020 tax return. That means next year's taxes are going to be drained by $1,200. And I don't know about you folks, I don't make that much money in general. So I never, it's been years since I've had to pay or get back $1,200 from the federal government. Next year, I'm going to owe if they send me a check. So what do I got to do? I'm just going to hold the money or refuse. I don't know if we can refuse it. What's the point of getting it if it's only going to be in advance on next year's taxes? See, I thought they were bailing us out, right? That's how they pitched it. They were coming to our aid. They were coming to rescue you, ladies and gentlemen. And they didn't come rescue you. They took a loan out for $6.2 trillion, and that evaporated into the air, or it's going to evaporate, probably without much of a trace. And you're going to have to pay back the loan they gave you on your own taxes. So obviously, they're taxing you. They're going to continually tax you. Of course they are. They could never cut you a slack. Remember when they were talking about giving us, they're going to make it tax-free for a while. You're just not going to have to pay taxes. That's good. Who the hell talked them out of that? Because this is much worse. Not only you're going to have to pay taxes, and remember, folks, let's just remember that many of us have been out of work. And we're going to be out of work for still a little more time. You see, no matter how many people protest the state governments to let them back to normality, it's up to those companies, the big companies that have shut down on their own, to go ahead and reopen. And will they do that if the restrictions are lifted? Because of what kind of protest? Or because maybe Donald Trump, who's trying to exert some power now after he has been limp-wristed about it, and he's followed along with all the deep staters who have been feeding him information about this virus. And ladies and gentlemen, that I've covered this virus extensively. We've done probably as much reporting on this as any alternative media source out there. We were ahead of the game on most of the issues that, were before us. Yet when you look at it all, they're going to take credit for the fact that less people got sick or less people died from all this. If the numbers are lower, they're going to claim, hey, look at how great of a job we did. And if for some reason, because they've kept people out there, notice they've quarantined some people and it's a really interesting quarantine. They took them out of work, but they haven't stopped them from going to get the items that they consider essential. All the retail people out there, now I'm not talking about the contractors out there, the people going to the paint stores or to whatever centers because they weren't totally closed down yet when they told us to stay home. They knew these people would go out to these other centers. So this soft quarantine that really just took people out of work, it really did nothing else. It really just hurt the economy. That's all it really did. Because those people, I mean, they'll go around. They'll have their masks on and they'll still risk their world out there. They'll just go out there. They knew that up in Lansing. They knew that in New York and in Washington that people would do this sort of thing. And their solution was to give you a check for $1,200. And that's just borrowed against next year's tax return. And you're not going to have the tax return you had this year because you're not making money. You're staying home. So you're going to end up owing that money. And as far as I can tell, that money isn't forgiven like some of that small business loans. Notice everything's a loan. This isn't bailing out crap. Except somebody's pocketbook. See, it's probably more likely that the economy was barely hanging in there. And they used a virus, both the Republicans and Democrats, because guess who got behind this bill, the CARE Act? All of them did. Very few were opposed to it, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I've told you this many times before. When both sides get together and make a plan and implement it, you get screwed. You get screwed. And that's exactly what happened with the stimulus package. Not only are you borrowing, they're forcing you to borrow against next year's. Do you notice that? It's being forced on you to borrow against next year's taxes. Why? Why do I have to take it? Can I opt out? Where do I opt out? I don't want to borrow against next year's taxes. Is there a reason why they're forcing me to take the money now? Is there not going to be money next year anyways? What's coming down the road? You see what I'm saying? When they're implementing something and they're making you do it and they're giving you a loan off of your own money, it's kind of strange, folks. Kind of strange. Personally, I think there are a lot of people up there, probably most of them, who were backing the bill and who voted yes, were getting a little grease to their pockets somehow. $6.3 trillion or $6.2 trillion is a lot of cashola, you know? You can give a lot of those people up there in DC some good folding money, you know? Pocket it. Go do whatever you want from there. And all of them, Republican, Democrat, the president, all of them colluded together to pull this on you. Just remember that if we ever have an election, because the way these guys are talking, and I know Trump's trying to look opposite of these deep staters out there in the CDC and the FDA. I get it. But that's been a game ever since Donald Trump has been a figure of consideration for president. All of a sudden, there's that back and forth and they banty the whole time. Yet, the whole country continues to go the wrong way. Sure, a couple good things have happened along the way. But look what's happening now. President Trump isn't stopping these governors from taking away people's rights. See, there's one thing to say, hey, for the general welfare, it's best you stay home. And because of that, we're going to shut everything down so you can't go anywhere. But that's not what they did. They took you out of work, a good portion of the economy out of work, and they unleashed you because they knew you would be bored. And they unleashed you on an already taxed essential part of the economy. And now look what's happened. Kroger's, Meijer's, all these supermarket chains, their shelves are barely stocked. There's some there, and you can get, but it's running out. You see what I'm saying? They knew you'd run out to the big box stores or the paint stores because you needed something to do. There's no new TV shows coming out because guess what? They're on hold too. Everybody's on hold. Except for the essentials. And practically every industry that's considered essential is taxed right now. Except maybe the medical industry. Some parts of it is. But other parts, you can see the reports. There's hospitals with nothing to do. I just saw a commercial for urgent care. There's nobody in there. They're like, we're COVID ready. Nobody's showing up. Like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, COVID is more than just a virus for the body. It's a virus on the mind. They use this to get away with a lot of things. So far, the biggest thing we've discovered is that they use this to increase the debt and have you pay for it. Because remember, folks, not only do you have to pay back that $1,200, but it equals $33,000 in debt per taxpayer. Who is going to pay for that? How are we going to pay for that? We already had an enormous debt. It was 20-some trillion dollars. Remember Trump? He, during the election, always was railing on the debt and how it was out of hand. Yet here we go. In a very short time, we're looking at adding another $6.2 trillion to the already bloated debt. You see, the politicians didn't do anything to save you here, didn't do anything to protect you. They weren't ready for this. Where's all the ventilators? Where's all the masks, right? They weren't ready for this. Not only that, and I'm not talking just the federal government, because all the state governments are colluding in this as well. Do you not see that both sides are working against the middle? And they're just using propaganda against each other to make you think that there are two sides of the issue, when really President Trump could be way more vocal about protecting our First and Second Amendment rights, our Fourth Amendment rights, the freedom to assemble, the freedom of speech. We can't do any of that right now because of state governors. They're all working together, folks. One giant collusion.
Smoke them if you got them.
Because the John LeBang Show will be right back
after this. That's guaranteed. Yes. Absolute Skin and Body Care, located in Livonia, Michigan. If you're in need of laser hair removal, skin care, laser tattoo removal, or laser hair regrowth, call Absolute Skin and Body Care. They're located at 37625 Ann Arbor Road, Suite 105 in Livonia, Michigan. Their phone number is 248-533-0448. Absolute Skin and Body Care. Give them a call. You're listening to the John LeBang Show. It's huge. Now I got to tweet about it.
And with our governor, she's made it impossible to garden at this point. Oh, you can buy grass seed, you can do that, but you can't buy tomato seeds. You can't just go into Home Depot or any like store and just get the seeds. Because that's our brilliant governor. Remember a few weeks ago we talked about the Hegelian dialectic, and I had that article, The Perfect Hegelian Storm? Yeah, well, we've really seen what has happened since all this began, haven't we? Let's think about it here. We've, since COVID-19, which is the problem, ladies and gentlemen, since COVID-19, we've turned into not only one reaction, but we've had a lot of reactions. And I'd like to go over them just a little bit. We've had an economic collapse, forcibly in many regards, by the way. Like I said, they sent you home, sent many of you home, Yet they didn't shut down a bunch of stores. So certain industries are doing really well, and that's only because they're the only things open. Got to wonder who's got stocks in what. Now we're running into food shortages. We've been locked down for weeks, and it continues to get ever more dangerous with these governors continually taking more things away. We've seen military movement. We've had the president, as well as the generals and admirals and the FBI and the DOJ, make themselves a relevant part, and I know the president is, but they've made themselves a relevant part of the COVID-19 task force. And they told us on April Fool's Day they were moving a bunch of destroyers or whatever, ships off into the Caribbean there. So we know we have military movement. We've got a healthcare crisis. We don't have enough of everything. Supposedly these healthcare centers, like hospitals and certain ones, and we have to talk about that as well as we're touching on that. Because I've seen some videos showing some hospitals don't have any patients, look empty. I know in our area, there are specific hospitals designated COVID-19 hospitals. Not all of them are, by the way. So when these things crop up, they're being sent to specific hospitals that probably regionally, something that fits within the area. If they're calling in. Now, if they're just showing up randomly, that's another thing. But I wouldn't do that. If I suspected myself of having COVID, I would be smart enough to call the hospital or whatever if it was getting that bad and I had to go and go, okay, which hospital do I need to go to? Because it's bad. And hopefully they would tell me the right one. Unemployment is also through the roof, and that is forced unemployment because the economy was roaring, ladies and gentlemen. It was roaring before all this COVID-19 stuff happened. They've put us on a war footing on top of that by considering this virus a invisible enemy. They've taken over industries, or they've forced industries to convert over to make things that they want made. The federal government. So you see, not only on the state levels are the governors taking and using dictatorial powers, but it's also the president in his own right are using some dictatorial powers. And everybody's doing it. Nobody's stopping anyone. Oh, they play the nice game where they may throw some jabs at each other for the malpractice media to feed you, to make you think both sides are there working against each other, trying to get, whatever side you're on, trying to make you feel like your guy's fighting for you. But none of them are fighting for you. If they were fighting for you, we wouldn't have got a stimulus package like we just did. They wouldn't have put us into more debt. See, that is always their solution, is put you in debt more and more. They can't find a way to reduce your debt ever. That is unconscionable to them, that you are more free, not only from debt, but all facets of your life. No, they are slowly, gradually encroaching on every aspect of your freedom, to the point where what we see today is nothing like the country we saw before 9/11. We had some big changes then. And remember, we talked about this earlier. We weren't going to see, I told you, we're not going to see the same country. This country will never be the same after this COVID-19. But why isn't it going to be the same? We could all go back to our regular lives. But you've already noticed, haven't you, when you've gone out, that the world is different. You've already noticed that the world has changed. You can't go to the supermarket without the little spit shields now. See that? Everybody's wearing a mask. Maybe that's prudent. Maybe it was all based on propaganda. Maybe because they haven't shut down the economy entirely, which they could have done. You realize, ladies and gentlemen, that if they would have shut down the economy for 2 solid weeks, 14 to even 3 weeks, because we're well past that now. And this is pointing out to you people who poo-pooed me. See, we'd all be back to work if everybody just stayed home for 3 weeks. It would have wiped it out pretty well. But we didn't. They allowed the economy to trickle on. And those industries that they allowed to stay open were put under immense pressure to maintain and to thrive. I've seen I'm on the front lines in one of the industries. You wouldn't believe the industry I am is considered, or the industry I am in is considered essential, but for some reason, it is. And because of that fact, we have dealt with some pretty incredible days. Days that I would never wish on anybody. We've seen stuff in our industry that does not in any way, in my opinion, fit under the realm of essential. But I completely understand how they must have felt at the grocery store when there was a run on TP and the sanitizer. The amount of people, because they had nothing to do, ladies and gentlemen, because they were sent home. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that just still went out and found something to do. The government knew this. They know people like the back of their hands. They do studies. They have groups that get together and strategize on how to best market things to the people to get the best results for them. They know you. They know how to manipulate your mind. And with the aid of the malpractice media and the fact that most people are they're not going to dig into this. Again, the malpractice media told you it was a $2.2 trillion stimulus, when in all actuality, it was $6.2 trillion. And they told you they were going to get you were going to get a $1,200 check. But they didn't tell you that it was borrowed against next year's tax return. They didn't tell you that. You got to ask yourself why. You would have revolted, right? If you knew that was the deal they were giving you when it was costing you $33,000 in taxes per individual, would you have bought into that? No, you wouldn't have. But the malpractice media, along with all the politicians, including Mr. President Trump, all of them, Democrat, Republican, Independent, all of them, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, all of them knew this. All of them knew it. And they still pushed it forward. They still went with it. And where's that $6.2 trillion going to go? Where is it going to go? Is it going to go into ventilators? I know masks aren't that expensive. Before the run on them, they were running about, $1 a piece. With that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me this hour. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to Alienxrado for a wonderful 6 years. I couldn't have done it without either the listeners or the owner of the station, and I can't thank you all enough. Thanks to people that were involved, Vinny Smith and all the other guys, Wild Bill, and everybody else over there at Alienxrado. Stacy, thank you guys. I'm just happy to be a part of the family. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords, ladies and gentlemen, reach your ears again, please go to the website, www.jlebang.com. And we'll see you next time right here on The John LeBang Show. Signing off for now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,